Hello, it's Mark here from Kirklees Visual Impairment Network, and in this video we're going to introduce you to Windows Magnifier. We're often asked by people how they can make the existing computer that they have more accessible, and in this video we're going to look at a feature that's built into Windows 10. So if you've got a Windows 10 computer at home, you'll be able to use this straight away. Very often people say to us that they'd like to be able to make the print on their screen a little bit bigger, and with the inbuilt Windows Magnifier you can do that with just a few keystrokes. So let's have a look at how it works. On my screen I've got the KVIN website open, but the good thing about Windows Magnifier is that you can use it with any piece of software, whether it's Word for typing up a document or Outlook for composing an email. What I need to do is press the Windows key and the plus. Now the Windows key is in the bottom left hand corner of your keyboard, second key in from the left generally, and the plus key, you've got two choices, either the big one on the numeric keypad, which tends to be over the right hand side, or the plus key, which is next to the backspace on your QWERTY keyboard top row. So pressing Windows key and plus, magnifier comes on, and then as I press it a second and then third time, it starts to increase the level of magnification, and then the Windows key and minus starts to decrease it. So plus increases, minus decreases. Now straight away you'll notice that the jumps or increments that my magnifier is increasing within are really quite large, because each one of them is 100%. Now that can make things a little bit difficult, because as I start to magnify I can increase the magnification to too high a level too quickly. So what I need to do is I need to change how quickly it jumps between levels of magnification. So the way in which I do that is with the settings. I've moved to the top right hand corner of my screen and I've got the control panel here for the Windows Magnifier. The cog in the top right hand corner of that panel is where I adjust the settings. If I was doing this with the keyboard, I could also do it with the Windows key, Control and M. But pressing on settings brings up a menu, and then just below that I'm finding go to settings. Now within this screen I'm looking for something called the zoom increments. Now as we've seen, it's changing it by 100% each time, and what I need to do by changing the figure in the drop down box here is to move it from 100% to a lower value. I'm going to go for 25%, although I could do 50, 10 or even 5. It really is up to you. In fact, you might decide that you don't need to change it at all because you're happy with what it is that it's doing. So just to demonstrate, I'm going to close this particular settings window and go back to my article. And now when I press Windows key and plus, you'll start to see that the magnification is moving up much more slowly. So I've got a lot more control over how much I increase it or how much I decrease it by. Makes it a little bit easier to get it just right for what I need. So I'll drop it back a little bit more there. Now at the moment I'm viewing the screen in what we call full screen mode. So at the moment I'm in the top left hand area. Moving my mouse across takes me over to the right. Moving it down takes me down to the bottom, and so on. That can present challenges in that sometimes it gets a little bit difficult to locate where we are within the screen, because what we're doing is seeing a quarter of it, for example, at any one time. So a good technique to locate yourself is to push your mouse over to the left and push it up at the same time, and that will put you back to the top left hand corner of the screen. A really useful technique there in terms of being able to help you retrace your steps to find where you were. Now there is another option, and that is to view the screen using what we call a lens. The way in which I do that is to press the Control, Alt and M key. And you'll notice now that rather than magnifying the full screen, I'm just magnifying an area of it at any one time. Probably the best way to describe this is like a traditional optical magnifier. You have a piece of paper underneath it, and as you move that magnifier over the piece of paper, you're magnifying the bit that falls underneath the magnifier. This is what the Windows Magnifier in lens mode is doing it for you. There isn't a right or wrong answer as to which you should use. As with all of these settings, it's very much down to trial and error and user preference, and you're just having a go and seeing which one works best for you in which circumstance. And it is also dictated by the level of people's sight and the nature of your eye condition. So do experiment, do have a go at switching between the two to find the one that works best for you. I'll just show you that there is actually a third option, Control Alt and M again, and this is what's called the docked view. Now you'll see that what it's done is presented an area of the screen at the top as a small strip. Now you can alter where this is and you can alter the size of it. Not necessarily that easy to work with because you're having to locate yourself within two areas, but as with all things, it is down to personal preference. So I'm going to do Windows key Alt and M to put myself back to the full screen magnification mode. So that's a brief introduction to the Windows Magnification app that is built in to every Windows 10 PC. In summary, I've used the Windows key and plus to increase and the Windows key and minus to decrease my magnification. I use the settings cog and go to settings to find the option to change the magnification increment and move that down from increments of 100% down to 25% to give me that little bit more control about how I magnified. And I also use the Control, Alt and M key to switch between the full screen magnification and the lens view to find a way of viewing the screen that works best for myself. So we do hope you found that introduction useful. We will do a follow-up video where we show you some of the additional features that the magnifier has. And if there are things that you'd like us to cover in further videos, then please do let us know in the comments. And if you've liked the video, don't forget to click on the like button. And if you want to see more from us, please subscribe to our channel and tick the notification bell so that you can be notified of new videos as they're produced. We hope you found the video useful and thank you very much for watching.